UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the United Federation of Podcast Network. I'm your host for today, Chrissie, and joining me are my co-hosts Justin and Brandon. Justin, how are you doing today?
Fondling, she saith, since I have hemmed thee here, within the circuit of this ivory pale, I'll be a park, and thou shalt be my deer. Feed me where thou wilt, or mountain, or in dale. Graze on my lips, and if those hills be dry, stray lower, where the pleasant fountains lie.
Oh, Justin, speak English, damn it.
That's Shakespeare. That's the best English, although I've heard it's better in the original Klingon, but I don't know that. But yes, I am here giving you the bawdy Shakespeare quote that this episode's title comes from. You're welcome, listeners.
Awesome. And we will be coming back to that bawdy Shakespeare quote later.
I think we will. There's sex in
Yes.
this episode, or implication thereof.
Yeah, good implication. Brandon, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good here. I'm excited to start. I just couldn't start today's episode without my nice hot glass of black licorice tea.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Because
Does it taste poisonous?
No, it's delicious. What's wrong with these people? Black licorice is amazing. And if you don't like it, you're like some kind of weirdo or freak or something. I don't know.
We already knew you didn't like Mariner, so it's just another reason not to like her.
Black licorice. You know what? I wonder if, like, I've heard that people, there's people who just, the taste of cilantro just, like, makes it gag and gross. And I wonder if, like, black licorice and cilantro is, like, one of those things.
Maybe. Well, the cilantro thing, I think for some people it tastes kind of like soap because they have, what is it? There's some other thing in their taste buds that they're missing or have in addition. I don't know what it is, but I love cilantro.
They used to use that in the 23andMe ad, so...
Could you imagine?
Find out if you're like cilantro.
Jessica, could you imagine being from Mexico and not liking the taste of cilantro? Like, what would you do for your pico de gallo?
I don't know. You'd have other things. There are, other herbs and spices to use. It's okay.
All right, well, before we drift off into Star Trek baking universe, we're going to introduce the guest here, and we have with us today fandom's favorite meteorologist, Katie Nickolaou. Welcome back to Infinite Diversity. How are you doing?
Hello! Oh, it's so good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's great to
see you
have
too.
you back. We talked about, a Discovery Season 3 episode a while back?
Believe so.
Sounds right.
Yeah, it's just, anytime it's Star Trek talk, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, yes. All right. Before we jump into our topic for the day, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make this show possible, particularly our associate producers, Justin Oser and David Willett. Listeners, we'd love to add your name to this list, and we can do that with your monthly subscription of just $10 at patreon.com/UFPearth. All right, so there is no news this week, so we get to just jump right into our episode of Lower Decks, Where Pleasant Fountains Lie. How about initial thoughts? Katie, what are you thinking? Watch this. First thoughts.
The entire time, my only thought was Jeffrey Combs. It was just the entire episode, like, what's going to come out of his mouth next? Oh, that was my thought. Initial reaction was just like nerdy glee from knowing that he's in this one.
I like that. That's good. Yes, the chatter I've been seeing on Twitter and Facebook is all positive on Jeffrey Combs, no matter what anybody else thinks about the episode. So that's good. Because how can you not love Jeffrey Combs? Brandon, what do you think for your initial thoughts?
I really enjoyed this episode. I gotta say, this is cookie cutter TNG, this episode. This episode was perfect. You've got your away mission on a planet. You've got your away mission on another ship where there's an engineering emergency. And what's the C plot here? There's so much going on in this one here. There's like a C plot too.
Mariner, well, there's Mariner and Boimler.
Oh yeah, and you got your away mission where they crash land on a planet like that, and they can't get out of it, right? So like this is cookie cutter Star Trek The Next Generation in its prime. So I really enjoyed it. And I got to say, I didn't laugh a lot during this episode, but I'm okay with that. Like the level of humor in this episode for me is the level of humor that's been in like the second season of Orville, where they're like telling the story as they are, and the humor is kind of coming out of the elements of the story that they're telling. So I really appreciated this episode. I don't think I put it as my favorite, but this is probably top 5 of the series so far.
Yeah. All right, Justin, your initial thoughts.
Well, I do like to start positive, so I will echo Katie and say, yes, Jeffrey Combs is awesome. I thought he was clearly the best part of this episode. I loved hearing him do a new character and riffing on a bunch of stuff. I thought also, something that I've seen a lot in this season is some really beautifully detailed, wonderful animation. Like, I really enjoyed that, where I was like, wow, especially I think on the away mission for Mariner and Boimler. But as I have felt for a lot of Lower Decks episodes, I really struggled to enjoy this one, actually. I think for a couple of reasons. So for the Mariner Boimler one, I think Jeffrey Combs' stuff was good. There was some kind of good stuff happening with Mariner and Boimler, but I was just, I don't know. I just wasn't that into what was happening, and I just thought like, okay, evil computer trying to be evil. It was nice there was a twist for what Boimler did, but by that point I was like, eh. And the stuff that was happening with Billups, with this whole ridiculous thing, like he'd automatically be king if he loses his virginity and like all of this stuff, I just really wasn't into it. So it really didn't grab me. I didn't laugh very much. And I think you might be right, Brandon. It's not the kind of thing that's necessarily meant to make you laugh uproariously, but I don't know. There was something about it that didn't grab me for the most part.
That's okay. That's
my
all
usual review.
Well, that's... You didn't hate it. It's not like...
I didn't hate it, but it was the kind of thing where I was watching it and I was like, yeah, and this is happening. Okay.
Anytime now.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Moving on. What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. I definitely agree with Brandon that this is one that could have been done on any of the 90s Trek, really.
Any of the plots, absolutely.
Yeah.
Except the Billups one. It would be done differently.
Well, let me see. That can be made... It's not royalty, but it can be compared to the first time we meet Lwaxana Troi, and Deanna Troi's supposed to get married.
I guess so. Yeah, that's another thing. I saw some of the comparisons. They were trying to riff on Lwaxana and what she does, and that kind of annoyed me because I love Lwaxana, and I find it, a good part of her character that she starts out doing this and there are more serious episodes for her.
So I'm going to jump into this question here. I'm going to ask Dustin direct. So what is it about... Please, yeah. I have an issue and I have a big question to ask about this, but what is it about him losing his virginity plot that you don't like?
It's just a completely ridiculous idea. Like, first of all, so you have this planet of these people that are populated by, I don't know, Ren Fair devotees, right? Who are, I assume, humans that moved to this planet or whatever.
That was the impression I got.
And just to have that extrapolation for this thing and to make such a big deal out of it, I don't know, there was just something about it that I was like, it felt just an unnecessary and weird barrier. Like Rutherford is like rushing over to make sure he doesn't have sex. I don't know, it just went to like a level of ridiculousness that I was like, I'm just not into this. I wish the thing that he had to deal with was something different. Also, like, he doesn't have to let them know about his personal life. He could have lost his virginity and his personal life on the Cerritos and nobody would have known. Like, I don't know. Why do they even have to know? Why is it a big deal? I just couldn't get past that. It just seemed like such a ridiculous idea that it took me out of it the whole time.
So, like, I have the question, why would he have to resign from Starfleet if he had sex? Because he's already abdicated the throne.
What a way to word it.
Right? Well, no, but seriously, he's already abdicated the throne. Like, if he's abdicated the throne, he can't come back to the throne. I guess
if he has sex, he unabdicates. Like, that's the idea. But that's a ridiculous idea.
It appears that he's the only heir.
Yeah, but even still, whether or not he has sex, he's still abdicated the throne. So...
and usually that means, like, I don't want it ever, right?
Like, look at William or whatever. I don't even know. Is it William that just abdicated the throne? I don't know. Harry? I don't know. I don't know my
Harry.
religious,
The younger one.
my whatever people.
Yeah, because he was giving up certain claims, but there are times
And
when there
also,
have been
he's probably
abdication,
not
like
Charles'
I think.
son.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway.
But I mean, you have actually had that, like, what was it, Edward VIII in the
Yeah.
30s? He abdicated and left and never came back.
He married a
Like, it happens.
divorcee, and that just
Right.
couldn't
That was
do
a whole
that.
big thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, abdication usually means, like, I don't want it. Don't give it to me
Yeah.
ever.
So
Well, I mean,
but I did listen to your episode about
Oh.
Henry VI, and that went way back and forth, right? Like, he's king, he's not. He's king,
Yeah.
he's not. He's king, he's not, right? So it can
Yeah.
happen, I guess.
yeah, speaking of that, plug History with the Szilagys this morning about
Yeah,
Henry VI and
mm-hmm.
a piece of the Wars of the Roses. So,
Timely.
That was very interesting, and like all
Thank
the
you.
little Civil War battles they were having, and not calling it a Civil War. But anyway, that's a
Yeah.
whole other thing.
Oh, it was. It just, yeah. Katie, I'm so glad there's another woman on this panel.
Bring in the estrogen.
Yeah, yeah. To Justin's point, and maybe this is more of a society thing. Were you taught that? And I don't want to be personal, but were you taught that losing your virginity is transformative?
Just kind of implied.
Yeah.
It's like one of those next step things, like you do the succession, the dating, the marriage, and then the babies.
Mhm.
And that's the step in between, which, ultimately ends up changing you. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not that whole idea
It's
of
not
like you're an
royalty
entirely
inducing.
different person because you've had sex. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Justin, what'd you say?
No, I said it's not royalty inducing though.
No, it's
Exactly, yeah.
Well, some of the sex that I've had,
But
I
you're
don't know.
still
but,
you.
Oh.
oh,
There's no crowns appearing over people's heads all over the
yeah,
place.
yeah.
Yeah. But your point is that like you're taught that like it makes you a different person in some way. Like
Yeah.
there's
It's like
some
it changes. There's a little piece of you that changes. But, it's not your entire personality.
One would hope, unless you're from what was that? Is it Creosians? Women that come out of the
from
egg.
the perfect
and-
mate.
Yeah, perfect
Yeah.
mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I'm getting at there, all right, is that there is this story of the princess who needs to be deflowered, and it's been turned on its head. Okay, and I absolutely adored that. All right, because there was this whole idea, and when we there's going to be a short Chrissie's History Corner later, and I'm going to talk about an example in the Middle Ages of not a royalty-inducing attempt at forcing someone out of their virginity, but it was definitely unwanted. So we'll get to that later. Teaser. So yeah, the idea of the whole royalty thing was just, okay, fine. But, if you wanted to try to be serious about that, if his mother's the queen and there's not it's not a ceremonial position, there's like a parliament or something who actually makes the laws, then she can do anything she wants, which then tells me that she wants her son at home making babies, she wants grandchildren or something, or maybe she wants to retire and that's the only way she can. But that might be thinking too hard about it.
Maybe they'll divulge a little more information as we go forward, like, season 8, whenever that happens. we'll
We
see
can
a
only hope.
return and then a little more of an explanation.
Yeah.
Then they'll change the rules so that by keeping his virginity to a certain age, he automatically becomes king.
There you go. Like, not even just king, like superior king.
Yeah.
Depending on if they're more medieval or Renaissance fair, there's a few examples of that to get into, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But also I think it's interesting that they're focusing on Billups, who is not a lower decker. So
Yes,
that's a little
I like
different.
that.
Yeah.
He's not even
I
a
like that
higher
a lot.
decker.
He's a middle decker.
Middle management.
Moderate decker.
There you go. That sounds better.
Well, I think it's also showing the show's growing. Like, okay, we aren't just these 4 characters.
Yeah.
There are people out there, and we'll show how they interact with our lower decks. Like, I'm glad they aren't so closed-minded that it's like, no, these are our 4. Like, yeah, we'll show you guys their lives. You'll get invested in these characters, and we'll probably kill them and bring them back. Who knows?
Oh, we need to talk about that at some point because I was like, did they kill Rutherford and they're just going to bring him back? No, he's not actually dead. Okay,
Yeah.
but I think that would have been funny if like he really
And
did
then he
die.
could have a conversation with Shax.
Yeah, and then he's like, yes, that would have been great. And he's like, Shax, I think I understand what you went through.
Just no, they would have to say that. The ending of the episode would just be Rutherford and Shax looking at each other. They just nod and then hug.
Aw.
Yeah.
I want you writing this show, Brendan.
I have that same question.
Right. Yeah. So we kind of touched on the whole thing about is Paulana going to be Lower Decks' Loxana?
I don't know if we'll ever see her again, to be honest.
I completely thought Loxana too. When you guys sent the images as to what we want to use to the show art, I'm like, I hadn't seen the episode yet. I'm like, oh, spoilers, Loxana's in this. Like, I actually thought it was Loxana as an animated version of her.
That would have been awesome. That would have been, and if she does show up anywhere, she needs to be voiced by
Rebecca Romaine.
Thank you, Rebecca Romaine.
Yes.
Brain fart. Okay.
Funny.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's kind of fun that they're bringing that in. That there's going to be that kind of craziness. I love the idea that there's a planet that's just got a bunch of Renaissance fair people on it, and they're not really
Dragons and mutton.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not living the Renaissance life. They're living the Renaissance fair life. So it's totally off the wall and everybody has castles. And, yeah.
See, that's why I want them to actually go to that planet in a future episode. Because you see the Starfleet people in a Renaissance fair. You can easily do that at any Renaissance fair where I live.
People do.
I actually got special permission from the director of the Renaissance fair that's coming up in a few weeks to wear my Starfleet uniform to have an away mission. He was totally cool with it.
There's an episode of Big Bang Theory where Sheldon does that. It's like really early in the show. And apparently the people who wrote it thought that this was like a totally new and never done before idea. And then there was all this chatter about how I've done that. Well, I've done that. It's all over the internet. So like, that's really cool.
Pretending to be a Starfleet time traveler.
Yeah.
Does he get the Doctor Who fans and you cross-contaminate the timeline?
Yes.
Now Loki variants are showing up. This is a mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that. We got Billups's first name as well. It's not Andrew like one might think. It's Andorithio.
Yes.
They really like the elaborate, unusual full first names, don't they?
I was
Bradward,
just seeing that.
Samanthan.
Devonna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean...
that's because she's Orion.
She's Orion, but it's still...
Yeah.
We have now established that we have 2 members of planetary nobility serving on the Cerritos. What's going on there?
Who's the other one?
You'll have to refresh me. Who's the other one?
Tendi.
Was Tendi?
Is she a royalty? I don't remember.
Wasn't she? Didn't her cousin call her the Queen of the Winter Storm or something like that?
I thought that was just like a nickname. I didn't think it was actual royalty.
Oh, okay.
Who knows?
Maybe we'll find out.
They haven't told us she's not, so she totally could be.
There you go. No, maybe the end of the show will be Tendi and Billups ruling jointly over Hesperia and Orion.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably not.
Hey, everyone has to have a backup plan from Starfleet. I mean, why not?
This is true. One of the things in this episode that I found to be kind of heavier than I expected out of Lower Decks and was more like something you'd see in 90s Trek. Tendi was in bad shape when she thought that Rutherford had died.
Mm-hmm. I loved that scene.
That was beautifully done. Okay. Especially with Tiana and the way she's reacting and handing her the pad and everything. This is some serious character development stuff I think we have going on here. What do you guys think?
I think it was undercut by me knowing for sure that Rutherford wasn't dead. Wasn't like really going to stay dead, to be honest.
See,
I will give you that.
You see, there's the thing about that. Like how many times in Star Trek and Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek Enterprise have they done the story where the crew member's dead, but we know they're not really dead, right? I mean, they do that all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's not even just a Star Trek trope. That's a television trope.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I'm saying if I know for sure with that, it just doesn't have the same effect on me. Okay, I'm just a little upset that T'Ana didn't get her usual funny line that makes me laugh a lot. She got the serious line, but...
Well, you can pretend that when he got back onto the ship and she saw him, she hadn't heard about the fact that it wasn't real, and she made some kind of cat expletive about, oh my God, you're real. Or you're alive.
Holy bleep, you're still alive.
Yes, there you go.
Exactly.
There you go. Okay, that works. But sorry, you had a point to make that I...
No, I think this is being used for character development for Tendi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think it's being used
in what way? I mean, I think we knew that she cared about him. Like, how does it develop her character?
Okay, maybe character development's the wrong word. Relationship development between them, not necessarily romance. I'm not saying romance necessarily, but just relationship.
That he means more than we might have thought.
Okay. Yeah, and also that. Let's see. Other than Shax, we haven't seen the Cerritos lose a lot of people, have we?
No, and we didn't even lose Shax.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, have we really truly lost anybody?
Yeah. I mean, there was probably some people that died in the first episode from the zombie virus thing, but Tendi had just come on.
Whatever. Bunch of red shirts.
Exactly. She makes a comment about that, though, about, I guess, something about being in Starfleet is knowing that you just might die anytime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is terrifying, but true.
Yeah. But I mean, isn't that life,
if Starfleet was real, I would not be a part of it. It's way too dangerous.
Well, yeah.
But I would watch all of their fictionalized adventures.
It's like watching MASH instead of being in Korea. Yeah, I agree. Or in Vietnam for the time, actually. But
Yeah.
See, the thing with Tendi, so like this is going to kind of cross plot lines of the episode, but like watching that scene, right, and seeing how Tendi and Rutherford act in this episode is like, it just reinforces the fact that Tendi is such a good, warm-hearted person, and she's a really good friend compared to Mariner, who's just complete trash again. Right? Again.
Yes.
So...
Yes.
Brandon's been making this case for a while. Yeah.
Like, Mariner is such a toxic friend. She is a very toxic person. And, like, look at this, okay? So, compare and contrast them. So, Tendi, she's championing Rutherford, okay? So, Rutherford is, like, concerned about going on this mission. And she's championing him and promoting him and telling him what a good job he does and what a good employee he is and whatnot. And what does Mariner do? She goes behind the back of her friend to take him off an away mission that he wants to go on so that she has company on her mission because she's selfish, right? And she doesn't care about her friend or his career growth. All she cares about is self-satisfying herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when that happened and, you know, Jeffrey Combs, the evil computer, like showed this thing, I was like, he made that up just for the host. Oh, no, it's actually
I thought
true.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he made it up as well, but she confirmed it right away. She was like, I was just looking out for you. No, you're not looking out for him because everything that you're doing is not what he wants. Okay? When Boimler tackled her, punched her, and stunned her, it was so cathartic. I loved it. It was my favorite part of the episode. Because Mariner, I don't know, she is trash. She is the worst character in Star Trek history. So, like...
I wouldn't go that far.
Caveat that.
I wouldn't agree with that either.
You got to caveat that because there's been a lot of pretty terrible characters.
So, worst main character in Star Trek history.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
So,
still.
it's just so frustrating.
Okay.
I like this episode a lot. I just can't stand
Who's
Mariner.
not supposed to be evil?
So,
maybe?
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's no
Yeah,
Ducat,
I've had a
but
big, big deal. I actually thought she wasn't as bad as she's been in some other episodes, but yeah, there were some things that weren't too good for their friendship. But at the end of the day, Boimler still seems okay with it.
It's just
yeah.
And I hope it like advances her thought process when it comes to him. Like, I think when he went to the Titan and then came back, you know, it's like, okay, great. You are still very much a green ensign, like shelter baby. So maybe this one will finally prove, okay, he has a brain that he can use. He has wit and smarts and everything.
Yeah.
But it's true. She's a bad friend with that.
I'm really tired of hearing her be like, I don't want you to hear about the Titan. It's like...
Yeah, he's so excited to talk about this, and she's like, blah, 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 I don't want to hear about it. It's like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I wish it wasn't like that, but I think they've constructed the character to be like that, so it's not going to change, probably.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah, unquestionably it's wrong that Mariner changed things got Boimler reassigned. Why did Ransom just do that on her recommendation?
That's a very good point as well. But then this goes to like he's not a very good first officer
because he was busy flexing his biceps in his mind. Like he's not very good there either, right? Yeah.
No.
He's like, okay, yeah, whatever, fine.
But we had last week there, right, where like Boimler saved the day with the goop and whatnot, right? Like the mess from the thing, and Ransom saw it and called it out. It's like, quick thinking, buddy.
Yeah.
Right? And so here he is advancing his career. Oh, I thought he was ready for this, right? Yes, he should have talked to him rather than listening to her.
And he saved the day again.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did save the day again.
Yeah.
This is good. I like this season. This season's really good.
Yeah, I have been appreciating that Mariner's not center of everything as well. So, well, let's talk evil computers. We were all excited to hear from Jeffrey Combs because he's Jeffrey Combs, right? But what do we think about the evil computer being the central plot of that? Katie, what do you think of it?
I mean, evil computers are just Star Trek. Like, it's so true. Every season there has to be an evil computer somewhere. And so it made sense that it was this one. And I loved just like at the beginning, it's like, oh, most of the time it's just they believe it's some supernatural being and it's a religion or something like that. And they're like, haha, yeah. And glance back at the mural, like, that was my laugh out loud moment with this episode. And then just like, you know what? Supercomputer, trying to get closer to computers. It makes sense. But this one at least had a sense of humor about it, kind of. It was like, hey, you know what? Let's try this. Like,
he was actually pretty polite throughout. He's like, hey guys, sorry to bother you, but I just need this help. You know? So that was kind of fun. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that they have a whole section of them hidden away.
Oh,
before I forget about that, I think it was Trekcore that noticed in that whole section of like evil computers at the end, there's one that has the CBS I logo.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God.
Self-aware.
Yes.
I didn't recognize any others, so I don't know. I didn't recognize the other ones, but
yeah, I don't know
didn't
what the
either.
others were,
but I was after I saw the thing about the CBS logo when I watched it the second time. I was looking for the Paramount Mountain, but
no, because CBS logo evil, Paramount Mountain good.
Oh, go there.
See, but that kind of thing's always been like shows have always trolled in their own networks and stuff. Like Family Guy's always taking digs at Fox, right? So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
John Oliver at HBO.
Yeah.
See, you know what I would have liked? I would have liked with all of these evil computers together that they like start talking to each other and they start like logicking each other to death, like how Kirk kills computers, and they just all that would have been great. But oh well,
That
they're
would have
still
been
there.
beautiful. That would have been a nice, like, if there was such a thing as a post-credit scene for Star Trek stuff.
Yes.
That would have been really funny. And leave the one, just Jeffrey Combs would be left standing, the rest would be Smokey and...
Yeah.
Jeffrey
Combs doing his Kirk impression to destroy all the other computers.
Yes.
That would have been great.
That would have been good.
That
would have been good.
But it didn't happen, only in my mind.
Yeah.
I thought the adventure was fun. I liked the twist at the end where, you know, Boimler had the upper hand the whole time. So I thought that was good. I think that, in my head canon, he was aware of what was going on, right, the whole time. And, you know, even though he didn't have to fight Mariner, he just did because he wanted to at that point, which is okay with me. So that was fun.
It was to convince the computer that it was real.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. But then, like, it was fun because it took a twist on its head. Because again, you are thinking that the computer is tricking him with fake information, right? With a fake video feed.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit, I did think that before the twist.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you know, to throw that on its head and think, hey, Boimler is, you know, succumbing to this fake information, this fake news, or what do you want to call it, and that's going to be the end of it. But no, it actually is true news, and Boimler had the upper hand the whole time because he's a good guy.
I have to say, though, this evil computer isn't very smart if it can't figure out that it's not plugged into the nav console, but it's just like dimming the light switch. Like, it's missing something not to realize what I would think would be an obvious thing for a computer.
It got damaged by the crabs.
There we go.
It was just so excited to be plugged into something. Didn't care what.
Yeah.
And it was excited about giving the speech about taking over everything, yeah.
That was good, how they were on the mountains of skulls, and then all of a sudden just like, no.
Yeah.
No. You need the dimmer
Well, that
switch.
goes back to the detailing. Like this, with the computer and everything, like that visual. For the few seconds it was on screen, it was just amazing.
And the dead alien in the background, that was a callback to some TNG episode. I can't think of which one it is.
I saw it, but I didn't, like, both times that I watched the episode, I just caught it at the last second before they cut away, and so I never got a chance to see what alien it was, but I'm like...
Yeah,
I'm going to see if Trekor identified it.
I'm having a brain fart on which episode it is that they come across.
I didn't even see that. So it's in the background toward the end, right?
On the ship.
Because you see the back of his head as they're going into the ship, and then when he finds out all he has is the dimmer is what you see after.
Yeah, I don't know if they even caught that.
Scintillating radio we've got going here.
Ooh. Gotta love editing, right?
Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And at least if there's a chunk, you can just be like, that's easy.
Yeah.
Damn, I wish I could think of... Anyway.
Well, listeners, if you caught it, let us know.
Yeah, I'll think about it. And now I lost my train of thought.
Woohoo!
It's gone where those aliens went, whenever that was. I did appreciate, again, this is another point of like, you have to have this for the story, so that's why it happened. But if he could have just pulled the battery on him in the first place, or why did they leave him switched on?
Why is he on? Why can't they just like switch him off and not have to hear a thing from him?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a plot thing. Like, well, we have to have Jeffrey Combs talk, and it has to try to take over. But yeah, I did think that.
Well, if you switch it off, would you technically be killing a sentient life form?
No, because you could turn it back on again later.
Data was switched off.
You do.
As was Lore.
Data gets switched off.
Point.
He's not dead.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is one of those plot things.
Perhaps he destroyed his on-off switch.
Okay.
So Rutherford creates a new on-off switch, but okay.
Oh, but we were talking about the how beautiful and how well done the art was. That abandoned planet,
It looked
gorgeous. Really cool. Okay, I mean, it's a place where a lot of people's ships have crashed and probably died, but it was gorgeously animated, and it did kind of remind me of what we've seen upcoming in Prodigy. Not the style, but the level of
prison
detail.
planet for Prodigy.
Oh yeah,
or that level of detail.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a pretty high level of detail considering the kind of animation that it is. Because I think there are limits to the kind of animation you have for Lower Decks, but I think they've taken it like as far as they can, which is cool.
Well, and what I think is driving them potentially to do more detail and all this is because we're watching it on computers. We can pause it exactly and zoom in and enhance on our screen and get screenshots. It's like, you really have to keep these things going. You can't just make like chicken wire props. You nowadays have to actually put in the effort because people can microanalyze it.
Yeah,
so,
but even from
they've actually come to bat with that.
From season 1 to 2 of Lower Decks, I think there was like an upgrade in the kind of animation that they're doing. So I don't know what it is, but it's great. Yeah, I like that. I like looking at it sometimes more than hearing the plot lines, to be honest. But it looks great.
That's so you.
That's so me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is. So you're like, it's
also,
you were looking for the positive, and there you are.
Glad that we didn't get something like in season 1 where you had Boimler like naked and you had like the black part like over for his groin. We didn't get that for Billups, but we saw his butt cheeks, so that was interesting.
Yeah, and it certainly appears that Rutherford saw him naked. So,
and that didn't even faze him.
Nor should it. These people shower together. We've already covered this. I mean, it's a sonic shower, but whatever. If humanity has done one thing by the time we get to the 24th century, please let it be getting rid of nudity taboos. Can we just... Please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not sure of the person or people in the present or future responsible for that, but we can wish for it.
I think the first thing you have to do is get people past religion, but that's maybe my thought.
That's
and self-consciousness.
Yeah, that's a little harder because that's a little more I don't know, ingrained in the human species or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm still trying to figure out which damn episode I was looking for. Sorry. So
where are we going with this?
Nowhere. Sorry. Poor Justin's gonna have to edit.
That's okay.
That train just went off the viaduct.
It's fine. I'll leave it.
Chrissy's about to recommend half a dozen awesome nudist beaches in Michigan.
There actually
there?
was a nudist colony next to my college in Northwest Indiana.
Really?
And we didn't know about it until like my senior year. We would have done a news story on it.
You would think next to a college town, that'd be like overrun every weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and you'd also wonder why they chose Northwest Indiana when it gets cold so long.
That was going to be my joke about nude beaches in Michigan. Lake Superior never gets above about 55 degrees.
Well, there are those polar
Fahrenheit.
bear people that like to
Yeah.
test themselves.
Yeah.
So
Well, then, I mean, if it's cold there, then you got like none of those self-conscious issues, right?
Exactly. I like that.
You can just blame everything on the cold. Okay, that works.
well, I
Don't
was
look
thinking
good,
because
it's
I'm so
cold.
distracted. I'm so distracted by freezing to death. I'm not self-conscious.
That's true. All right. Well, since we brought
Yes.
up Billups again, I thought, and maybe I was just reading too much into this. What did you guys think about the fact that his mother set him up with two people?
Give him the choice because he hadn't done. I interpret it as it was just giving him the choice. So or else there's just no, I don't know, no taboos as to like multi-people sex on their planet either, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like whatever gets the job done, this will get it done efficiently or
Here's
something.
your,
I don't know.
Yes.
charcuterie board of people. Go for it.
Yeah, it's weird, but it made me think of let's see, Discovery. That must have been in season 1 where Giorgio's trying to get like this information on Kronos
Yes.
and takes the two like Orion people
In the
I'm
brothel.
Like,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
Happens
No,
with Lower Decks too. But yeah.
I did read
No,
it. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I was like, okay, fine, that's how they do it.
Yeah. I didn't read it as something salacious. I read it as she doesn't know what he's interested in. So
Yeah.
throw it all at him. And I assume these people are human, and so, we've got, maybe not covering the entire gender spectrum there by any means, but if she's just going for the basics. And if he's
Just a sampler.
if he's a what should we call it? A warp core sexual, then maybe he doesn't know what he's interested in yet, other than that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know, in
I
My
mean-
Strange Addiction, they'd be on season 5,000 by that year.
ooh,
Yeah, it's hard to have a relationship with a warp core. So
Well, I
unforgiving.
don't know if you have to have a relationship. It's just
just got to become sentient. You just need a sentient warp core, right? They should have hooked up
Oh,
Jeffrey
God.
Gooms to the warp core.
But the intimacy is difficult because I think it'll incinerate you. So
Yeah. Fatal Attraction.
there
yeah.
you go. There you go. All right. Well,
It's the best nanosecond ever. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
okay. Well, here's part of my issue. I felt like there were two plots here, and that was it. And we've kind of covered
Yeah.
both of them. And we usually have at least another half an hour's worth of conversation. So I don't know.
we're leaving the half hour for your special corner.
Do it.
Okay.
Unless, yeah. Let's
do it.
Yeah, okay.
Well, before I get into that, does anybody have anything they want to bring up that we didn't? It was
Well,
a very
I-
straightforward episode, wasn't it?
I
Go
didn't
ahead.
have anything I wanted to bring up, but Billups definitely had something that he wanted to bring up at the end that he couldn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No kingdom come.
Yeah, okay. They did a really nice job with the double entendres in this, didn't they? That I have to give them
Yeah.
full credit for that. Full credit. Okay then. So
This is what we've been waiting for this whole time. We've just been like having little conversation just so you could do this. No
oh
pressure.
dear. Okay. Oh, one other thing, right? The thing with Billups, I was reminded, and I know I've talked about HBO's Rome before, and I don't think you guys had seen it.
I have,
Katie,
yep.
have you seen HBO's? You have. Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. Watch it. It's good. There's a scene.
Lots of sex.
Well, there is.
The brain surgery
but
scene.
This is actually,
The brain surgery
What?
scene, man. Oh, that brain surgery scene.
Brain surgery?
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
boy.
yeah.
Oh,
In
boy.
Rome?
Ancient
Thankfully
Roman
not.
brain surgery?
It's more of a brain open. It's more of a skull opening,
Ugh.
but
Yes.
that's
Cool,
okay.
that's better.
It's a moment. It's over, and then it's fine. No, I was reminded of Octavian is having breakfast with his mother, and she just point blank asks him, "Have you penetrated anyone yet?"
Oh my God.
And that's what Phillips's mother
Roman
reminded me
breakfast.
of that. And then
You know what?
Yeah.
For a fraction of a second, where my mind was going when the mother brought up sex was like, I hope there is not a thing in their culture
oh yeah,
that sons and mothers need to. But no, they didn't go there.
yeah.
Thank heaven.
If she
But
had
for
not,
a second, I was
Yeah.
like, she wants him to have sex. Wait, what? But no, it didn't go there.
Yep. And then, let's see, Pullo takes Octavian to the brothel, and the brothel keepers brings out her entire selection, and it's everything. And she's just, yeah. So it just reminded me of that.
Wow.
Our specials today are.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
all right. So that, I guess, can lead us into Chrissie's History Corner, Chrissie's History of Sexuality Corner. As Justin already brought up, and I love that you went and got the full piece of the play. Okay. I love that.
It's quite suggestive.
It is. So the title derives from Shakespeare's play Venus and Adonis. Okay. Where pleasant fountains lie. I was going to say lay. Where pleasant fountains lie. And it's actually, he didn't come up with that verbiage for that, but that is a not terribly uncommon Elizabethan era euphemism for cunnilingus. Okay.
Wow.
Which is the long word for going down on a woman.
Batman doesn't do that.
No, apparently not. And how unfortunate for everyone that Bruce Wayne has taken up to his tower, figuratively and
I
literally.
clearly haven't watched a lot of Batman. Yeah, go ahead.
There was a huge thing about
Was this in like a movie?
in the comic. Yeah, there was a. Was it a movie
Comic?
or was it a comic? I thought.
I don't know. I think it was a comic. I don't know. I don't read comics, but
Okay.
it was just this
It was a
whole
couple-
uproar online. Like, people were like just upset because Batman doesn't do that. It was-
Yeah,
Batman's
yeah,
missing out.
and yeah. So
This is like
This
the
is-
raciest episode we've had so far.
do
I'm
we need
enjoying
like a
this.
warning at the start of this?
well,
I don't know.
I'm not going to use any dirty words unless you know.
I keep
Think
glancing at the door like,
cunnilingus is
"Are
a dirty
my parents
word." I don't know.
coming by?"
Well, it shouldn't be, but
No comment there. I know, picking things. Okay, so we tend to have this Puritan kind of ideology that like sex was invented in 1960 with the Summer of Love, okay, or 68 the Summer of Love, whichever one it was. But 1960 is when the birth control pills put out, so that's when sex starts. But
then how are people here?
right, exactly. I say that actually because I got that as an answer in an exam once when I was talking about the question was something about
A college exam?
yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
I
Wow.
assumed at the time that they were trying to be funny because the essay was a prompt about the pill. And anyway, but it started out something to the effect of 1960 was when people started having sex. And it was like, okay. So anyway, we tend to have this puritanical thought that people just, they did it because they had to, and nobody was happy, and the women were
And
always
that somehow
supposed to
nobody
be-
was like, and also that nobody was talking or writing about it, which
No.
lots of people were, right?
Oh, no, of course not.
Yeah.
And even if you accept, like, okay, well, the men were enjoying it, the women weren't supposed to, because if the women were enjoying it, well, they were wanton and terrible and okay. And especially we get that from the idea of Puritanism in the United States, which is a wonderful irony because the Puritans were very much don't have sex until marriage, unless you're already engaged. And if you're already engaged, then that's fine. You can go into labor at your wedding feast if you want to your wedding dinner. And once you're married, really do whatever you want with sex. It's fine. As long as at some point you're going to produce a child, have fun. Okay. They were very into, there's a letter, I can't remember who wrote it, but it's a woman who's advising her daughter and before she gets married, and she talks about how she hopes that her husband knows what he's doing, and of course she's all euphemistic about it, but she should remember that she was advising her son, that's right, and she said most women will appreciate something done correctly more than something done often. And I just love that. Love that.
Wow.
But that goes back to, okay, until maybe a couple 100 years ago, it was genuinely believed that for a woman to conceive, she had to orgasm. Okay. And that was, first of all, used terribly because every woman that got pregnant from a rape, her case was immediately thrown out because that was assumed, well, you enjoyed it, so you couldn't have been raped. But on the other side of that, that means that all of those puritanical ideologies, all of those Elizabethan closed up, all that stuff that really the Victorian era gave us, which is terribly ironic because Victoria and Albert liked spending time together.
And there's so much Victorian erotica that was
oh
written
my
in that
God,
time, right?
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, she's the one who people go like, she's lie back and think of England. No, they had 9 children in like 14 years. Yeah. But anyway, so that idea was there. I have gotten way off track here. But the fact that was being written about, the fact that there's this euphemism for it, this whole Shakespeare, and of course this is not at all the only time that he talks about sex, by any means, okay? But that just shows you that there is that understanding of what they thought was the science of the time, and so it was okay. And more than that, it was expected that a woman was supposed to enjoy sex. And so while we think that the Middle Ages and the Renaissance era, people are all uptight and men are not wanting to perform sexual acts on women beyond, basic missionary position to produce children because that's what the church says. That's not the case. It was a long way around of saying, don't believe the people that write about the Renaissance and medieval eras being uptight and not horny. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the literature bears it out too. Yeah,
it does. I mean, you can Shakespeare,
Chaucer.
Thank you. That's what I was like.
Yeah,
yeah. Chaucer's. If you can translate the Old English, it's pretty dirty and it's wonderful.
All right, listeners, your recommended reading is.
It's kind of like when you read Shakespeare in school, and there's certain ones that you always read. I wonder why they don't let us expand into other ones.
And even Romeo and Juliet has its moments,
Yeah.
But
that's why they make you read the Old English version so that you just don't understand.
Yeah.
But the quote that this episode title is from, Venus and Adonis, I don't think I ever heard about that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that play either.
No. I don't know.
But I'm guessing it was popular at the time. I don't know. Yeah.
If we have any Shakespeare scholars out there, let us know if this is something that was well known, or is it something that you only encountered when you were working on higher degrees, or when you'd read your 20th book about Shakespeare or something. Because I'm not going to exclude undegreed people. It's one of those like
Shakespeare fan fictions that you know exist, but you're like, should I really read it?
Well, maybe part of it, I was trying to look up more a bit, is that it's really a narrative poem more than a play.
Oh, well, then
the ones that we think about, like Macbeth and Hamlet and all that. So maybe that's part of it. But
yeah. But the title really was like, that's got to be something. So I was Googling it, and then Trekcore had the link, which was great.
I did, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. And I just love the euphemism of the fountain. That's just beautiful.
It's very descriptive.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about was just a quick story about a woman in the 12th century who did not want to lose her virginity. And usually this is applied to women, which is why I kind of was like rolling my eyes at figuratively rolling my eyes at what Justin was saying about it being so transformative for Billups. And obviously it doesn't, it's not going to incur royalty. I mean, I guess it could if you're with royalty. Yeah, maybe? Okay. So in the 12th century, she's this young woman. Okay, she comes to be known as Christina of Margate. She caught the eye of a bishop who wanted her as his mistress. This is before Catholic priests weren't supposed to be sleeping with women.
Right.
Yeah. Even though they weren't supposed to be, but it wasn't in canon yet. Anyway, so this bishop has money, he's got influence, he's got power. Her parents are like, cool, you're going to go be this bishop's mistress. But if you're going to be respectable, we have to get you married first so that it looks like when you get pregnant that these children are your husband's and they're legitimate children. So they arrange a marriage with a man named, and I love this name, Bortrid. And it's spelled almost like boar hatred. It's just beautiful.
And where is this? This was in England at the time?
Or? Yep.
Okay.
Around, it would have been around like 11, 15. Because we're not quite sure how old she was. So they arrange this marriage, and she says, she goes to them and she says, no. She says, when I was a young girl, you took me into this church where they were having a pilgrimage, and I made a vow of chastity, and that's between me and God, and I'm going to go join a convent, and, no. Okay. So then they have the paperwork for the marriage drawn up so that they are functionally married, and all that needs to happen is that the marriage is consummated. They bring the groom in, I guess you could call him at this point, and say, her bedroom's over there. We're leaving. She's asleep. Okay. Do as you will. Make the marriage legitimate. Okay. With a rape. They come back the next morning and find out that she has kept him awake all night talking about religious philosophy. All right. But, which was not quite, what they were hoping. So then, but he decides he still wants the marriage. Okay. And the bishop is still interested because, So she has to run away, and she, somehow the Archbishop of Canterbury finds out about this and arranges for a hermit to come find her and take her to a convent where she hides for 2 years until her on-paper husband is forced to acknowledge that the marriage is not legitimate, and then she can go out in public again because she was hiding, and then she becomes a nun, and then she becomes the prioress of a convent. Yeah.
So the moral of the story is just talk your way out of it.
Oh, I like that. That's very Trek.
Huh?
Yeah.
Brains win?
Yeah.
It is very Trek, because there's a Picard way of getting around the problem.
I love it.
Also, change your society so that people aren't trying to force other people to do stuff. But,
yeah.
True.
But
options were limited then, I guess.
Yeah. And it is really, from our perspective, it's very sad. From their perspective, you can see definitely, if they're a lower member of the, not nobility, not quite, but they've got money, but they're not quite there, and the bishop can kind of push them socially over the side, better. You can see where the parents are coming from, unfortunately.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's...
So Billip's situation is less messed up than that. Okay.
Slightly,
yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah, because you know what?
I mean, because in a way he is being pressured to do this, so there is some force there, but it's probably not as much as in your story. But
the 2 guards did not rape him.
Yeah?
So
that's true. Yeah.
Well, of course, she didn't.
He was in control of the situation, so
yeah. And that's what made me think. Of. I have not told that story as well as it's told in Terry Jones's Medieval Lives show, but it's a good one. Yeah. So, Justin, you made a joke about recommended reading. But
no, I was saying like Canterbury Tales and some Shakespeare, but go ahead.
Absolutely. Always read Canterbury Tales. Always read Shakespeare. But there is a 3-volume set called The History of Sexuality by Michel Foucault that is actually quite interesting on a non-prurient level.
Yeah.
So if you want to just delve into that, it's a good place to start. There's some pretty good translations out there. Or read it in the original French if you have that capacity.
Or translate it into Klingon.
Or do that.
There you go.
Yeah. Or do that. Yeah. Okay.
No,
I don't know
that's great.
if that built up to what maybe the anticipation that was created, but that's okay.
Oh my God. Did you really say that?
Oh, gee, I didn't even mean that. Oh God. Well, that's all right.
It was very diverting in a cerebral way.
There you go. Let me bring it back to something else. How's everybody feel about black licorice? I think we know what Brandon thinks.
Love it.
I don't know if I've ever had it.
What?
Really?
I love it.
Okay, good. Me too.
Okay.
I think it's wonderful.
Like black licorice gum.
Yeah.
So who is this episode appealing to then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I got super right before the pandemic, I got super into DuckTales, the reboot.
Yes.
And one of the characters just gets stuck for 10 years chewing black licorice bubblegum.
I missed that one.
And I was like, I cosplayed the character, so I thought, I need to be authentic. I bought a pallet-sized case of blackjack bubblegum.
Wow.
And I went through it all.
Wow.
It was so good.
It is good. It is good. Have you ever had clove bubblegum? Or not?
Yes!
It's not bubble, but yeah. Same
Yeah,
company.
the clove gum. Oh,
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, listeners, tell us if you hate black licorice like Mariner does, because nobody on this podcast apparently does, including me who hasn't had it. But
See, whenever
Well,
I go
then
on a
you
trip,
might hate
I
it. You
guess.
just don't know yet.
yeah, whenever I go on a trip to the mountains, right, like to Banff and Jasper and whatnot, like they have candy stores in their town, and so like I don't eat a lot of candy, but when I go on a trip like this, I always buy candy. I always buy licorice at the candy stores in Banff and Lake Louise and Jasper when I go there, because they always have like different kinds from around the world and whatnot, and I don't get the basic kind, I get the fun kinds, like the real kinds of licorice. You know, I don't get the cheap kind.
yeah, Mariner.
Actually, have you ever had the black jelly beans that come out on Easter?
oh,
Easter.
yeah.
That's black licorice flavor. It's kind of bastardized because it's a lot sweeter, but
Did you know that
Justin,
black
you're
licorice?
blinking, and I don't know if you're thinking about if you've ever had the jelly beans.
I haven't.
See, but the thing is, black licorice is a natural root, and it's actually
true, yeah.
like 10 or 15 times sweeter than sugar. Actually, it's like the actual root itself. It's naturally that, and they actually used to give it to soldiers to chew on while they were like marching and whatnot. They used to give actual root, black licorice root. So
Interesting.
That's cool.
Okay.
So,
Sex and black licorice.
Sex
That's
and
what this
black
one's
licorice.
been all about.
oh.
That could be the title of the episode.
are we going to?
If we did funny titles now, that would be it. Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the whether or not this is like still consent when Billups is like, yes, I'll do it, but it's all based on a lie? Is that like that would fall into the category
Oh,
of
good
not
point.
consent?
Oh, it is based on a lie, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not informed consent, I think is
There
what
you
you
go.
say. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
That
And-
queen, oh my god. It's just blew up the ship, made it seem like everybody was dead just to get him into this. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was based on a deception. So
And what was her plan with Rutherford? Was she just going to keep him? Like, because you can't just be like, oh wait, no, he's perfectly fine.
I don't know why.
Once it was done, it's done.
maybe they would sell him to Kivas Fajo.
I don't know why
I don't know.
Billups needed to
I don't know what the
consummate
plan
so
was.
quickly. Like, I mean, like he could have done it anytime. Like, why was there a rush? I mean, I realize it's so the episode can happen, right? But aside from the fact that, like,
Yeah.
again, I don't know. You're the person that knows history, Chrissy. If he's abdicated, why would he ever be able to go back to becoming king? Like, if he says no and he's abdicated, abdicating is like I
Ren
give
fair
it up
rules.
because, like,
Yeah.
so you said it's Harry and Meghan, right? Like they've abdicated. They have nothing. They're entitled to nothing from that point on. They're entitled to nothing.
They're
I
not
think so.
entitled to the throne. I think they still have an allowance, and their Lord and Lady, Harry and.
Oh, I thought that was taken away as well.
Oh, was that
I'm
too?
pretty sure
Okay.
everything's gone.
I thought it was.
Well,
at
good
some
for
point.
them.
If they do a couple more interviews with Oprah, they'll be set.
Yeah. Like they're going to have trouble making money to survive on anyway.
Yeah.
But, usually when somebody abdicates, yeah, they've removed themselves completely, and there are not circumstances that they're going to come back.
Yeah.
But
like I mentioned before, with Henry VI, he did come back.
yeah, but
Because
he didn't
people kept wanting
abdicate.
him.
He
I
was
guess
removed.
he was just forced out.
Yeah. He was not well, so that there's another layer there. But I'm trying to think. I cannot think of any examples of somebody who willingly abdicates.
I'm surprised that unrelated
I know.
history episode on Henry VI is relevant to this. But
I
it
know, I
is.
love it. I love it. Yeah, I can't think of anybody who willingly abdicated. There's all sorts of people who were forced out.
Edward VIII.
Edward.
He's-
No, excuse me. I didn't finish the sentence.
30s.
Willingly abdicated and then went back and ruled.
And then went back.
afterward.
Yeah, I'm not thinking
I
about it,
can't
but
think of any.
let me look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Such a weird word, though, isn't it? Abdicated.
I love it. It's like proper Latin and stuff. That's proper
It's the
Latin.
kind of word that if someone plays it in Scrabble, you punch them.
Yes,
Like-
because if they can figure that out and they have enough letters, and you've put down another word, or they have, right. Oh, but so I got the impression that he was the only heir, and
Right.
when that's the case, you're going to make allowances, but
Yeah, in that situation, they just change the rules and figure out somebody else who can be an heir. You know?
well, yeah. Does she have
Yeah,
no
she's
siblings?
the queen. She can change the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have no siblings? Does she have no nieces and nephews.
The show does
In the
not
painting-
care.
There would be somebody.
Well, in the paintings, it's
There
just
would be
him.
some-
That's
Somebody
true. Yeah, I think he's an
somewhere.
only child.
There would be somebody somewhere. Look at the movie King Ralph.
King Ralph.
Okay, right, where everybody died, right, when they were getting their photograph taken, and he's like what, like a 16th cousin or something like that, and he's the
Yeah.
only legitimate heir because everybody else is dead, right?
Yeah.
So there would be somebody somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And we didn't get the answer of whether it was ceremonial or actually governmental.
Ooh, how about this? I'm reading the Wikipedia article about abdication.
All right.
Abdication can be forced as well as voluntary. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm struggling to find one where someone abdicated and came back.
See,
Not if they willingly did it. Yeah.
I understand though for Billups though what his problem is. So he's like the Mugato.
He likes to watch. Is that it?
Or he needs somebody
Is it-
watching.
is it-
It's one of the...
Or needs somebody watching? Yeah, because if he's just watching, I don't think that's consummation, technically. So, unless... No, let's not go there.
No.
Had to call it back to the best episode of the show.
It is not the best episode.
Pretty good.
All right. Is there anywhere else we can go from here?
Okay, I did want to just briefly... I had this in the final thoughts, which is why I didn't bring it up before, but I
Okay.
do want to mention this, and there's a couple canon connections we can do after, but I actually made a list of the themes in this that are actually dramatic themes that if you had seen this episode with a slight rewrite into more formal language, that it would be perfectly fine in a regular live action track, right? So you have the aggravating family member demanding too much of a person because of their position on the ship, Loxana, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But, Worf's parents, his father coming on just being like, show me the engines, You have interpersonal conflict that's aggravated by outside forces, okay? Which I couldn't think of a Star Trek example right off the top of my head, but the first thing that came to mind was...
How are you classifying that?
I'm sorry?
Oh, say that category again.
Oh, interpersonal conflict that's aggravated by an outside force. So, like, people are having issues with each other, and then, the evil computer
Miles and
comes in.
Keiko, and it gets
Yes!
Oh, there
Good
you go.
exacerbated by the Pa Wraiths. But
Yeah, good example.
I mean, there's Worf and Dax, like when Worf is like not listening to Dax and decides to save her, right? There's like that, Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily interpersonal conflict. There's conflict on final mission, right? With the driver, right? The guy who's driving them, right? There's that one there. So like this is like I said at the beginning, this is cookie cutter Star Trek. This episode,
Yeah.
A, B, and C plots are all prime Star Trek writing, all of it.
Yeah, so you've got, you brought up like final mission, the loss or potential loss of a friend or colleague, and then a character dealing with the needs of society versus their own desires.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is...
Yeah.
Make the language a little...
What was the one where Rowan LaForge got invisible and they thought they were dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not denying that there are strong similarities to past Star Trek. I just am not into how they're doing it.
Oh, no, and I didn't read
So,
that you were taking it as that. I just... This is the first episode of this series that, for me, I feel like could have been dropped into any other show with very minimal change.
You don't think the
And it
Mugato
would've
one could
worked.
have? Like the Mugato one as well. Like aside from the sex jokes in the Mugato one, like the Mugato one could have been as well, right? Like
Yeah.
somebody's taking
Yeah.
advantage of like these animals and whatnot, and they go down to try and stop it.
Yeah. No, it definitely could, but the dialogue would be quite
Right.
different, I think, in both of those. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was just because this one, aside from like the tone that they have when they're talking to each other, it's really okay. I've talked too much on this.
That's okay.
Canon connections?
Canon connections.
Canon, I have one, but
Okay.
Can I do mine first? Because it's from one of my favorite
Yeah.
TNG episodes.
Please.
The Arsenal of Freedom drones. I love that.
oh, they were supposed to be those kind of drones. Huh?
Yeah, so like when
Nice.
the computer's all like freaking out saying, I'm gonna build my army of drones, it's all like the Arsenal of Freedom attack drones.
I didn't realize that.
So-
Oh.
I'm like, yes.
And I love that episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right, Justin.
So I like any mention of the Daystrom Institute, so that was nice. And I think they were acknowledging in here that it's based in Okinawa, which was established in Picard, which is cool.
And it looks like it did in Picard. I made a note of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I like that. More Daystrom Institute. Let's get a comedy at the Daystrom Institute.
Oh, dear.
About all the wacky things that happen. No, maybe not.
That would be the Big Bang Theory.
Maybe.
Except without them being Trek fans. Katie, did you see any canon connections you want to talk about?
Oh, not that I remember.
That's all right.
Oh.
Yep.
It kind of continues a trend from the last couple episodes where there aren't as many Easter eggs as previous ones. Yeah.
I think they're trying maybe to come a little bit more into their own, because that's what, Orville kind of did too. Is like very, cheeky, jokey, blah, 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 little hints and drops like, they're making fun of this fandom. And now it's like becoming something of its own. So I feel like that's showing the growth of Lower Decks.
Good point.
The animation is beautiful. That's what I'll say.
That it is. The only, other than the Daystrom Institute, they mention about Data's head in the cave. It's just, why can't we just bury this thing like Data's head? And
Time Zero.
Data's head was in a cave. Yeah. So, yeah. Right. I just feel like I end up going off the rails when I'm hosting. Okay.
I think we all do, so it's okay.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better. Anything anybody else wants to talk about with this? Or wander off into the history of sexuality?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
We've done some wandering, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Katie, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can listeners find you online? Do you want to talk about any upcoming projects or current projects?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can find me online at weather_Katie on pretty much everything. I'm most active on TikTok and Twitter, but I'm also Instagram, Facebook, and then I have a YouTube channel called So Many Random Fandoms because I can't decide on one fandom to talk about.
Nice.
But that's where you can find me. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. I have to ask you one question before you go, because I know that I first found out about you when you did like the forecast in your kind of TNG era uniform before Picard aired. Do you plan on doing another Star Trek one?
Oh, it's definitely happening.
Okay.
It's a matter of getting the graphics in. And I'm also looking, if any viewer or listeners out there know where I can find a solid Deep Space Nine science officer uniform or Voyager, any one of those, because I'm planning on doing a Trill meteorologist.
Oh, nice.
And hopefully, there's this lovely app called Cameo. And if there's some willing Star Trek actors, I'm thinking of maybe crossing the threshold and making it sound even cooler. We'll see how it goes.
I like that.
But there's a new Star Trek one coming up. And for Halloween, my station's amazing because, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., no one cares what you look like. So I'm doing a Miss Frizzle cosplay.
Nice.
I'm hoping to do a Star Trek cosplay. I'm going to do all these costume changes during the morning show for Halloween.
That's great.
So
wow.
If you're in Siouxland, tune in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Are you looking post first contact uniform or the pre?
Yeah, anything. Honestly, just the cool, like the black with the little color pops at the top.
All right.
Or even Enterprise. I'd love to do an Enterprise one.
Our listeners might know, but have you just tried asking on Twitter? Because I'm sure somebody can help you.
I should just ask
really
on
should.
Twitter.
I think that's how
Twitter knows everything.
Yeah, I think John Hodgman got his Q robes that way. So, or he's going to get his Q
okay.
robes.
Well,
anyway,
guess who's going on Twitter now?
Okay. And listeners, if you follow Katie, then you'll know when we recorded this.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Brandon, where can people find you when you're not looking for somewhere to bury a supercomputer?
You can find me on Twitter, I guess, at Brandon Matella. I'm still taking a break.
Will you return?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Will you return?
We'll find out.
We miss
Thank you.
Yes.
We miss
You
you,
don't.
our Lord and Liege.
You definitely don't miss me.
Okay, fine.
I'm still taking a break. What's today? Today's Thursday, so it's been, what's this, 12 or 13 days now? So 12 or 13 days, it's going good.
This has been like the best 13 days
It's
of your
actually
life.
been pretty nice. So I'm going 30 days at a minimum, and then we'll see what happens after that. So,
Okay.
we'll see what happens after that.
Having said that, you did create a meme that you had us tweet out today, and that was a pretty good meme. So check out the Infinite Diversity Twitter feed for that.
Yes. I did this. I'm like, hey, Chrissy, can you tweet this out for me? And she's like, what the man? You can't do it yourself?
Okay, that wasn't what I said.
Subtext. That wasn't even your subtext. Yeah.
No, I forgot that you were having a social media fast, and I was like, don't you mean you want me to retweet it
from your account? No, post it from our shared account. Anyway.
Sorry.
Going,
yeah.
Brandon.
So you're
Twitter, maybe.
only, or you're half on Twitter. Okay.
Any chance that I can to make sure that Justin gets to put a bleep in there.
Shall be fun.
I guess there. Follow me. I don't know if I'll be back or not. I'm not deleting the account. It's still there. So I don't quite know what's going on, and I'm okay with that. So, Justin, how about you? Where can we find you, my calloused co-host?
I'm sorry, you're on no other podcast?
I was about to say.
Yes, other podcasts. Yes. I'm sorry. Here.
You had that lined up very well, so I can't blame you.
You can find me on the network here with another show called Franchise Fatigue, which is all about movies, remakes, and sequels. We are smack dab in the beginning of our Mad Max franchise, which I'm having a good time with. I like those movies a lot. And then you can also find me on Good Evening, an Alfred Hitchcock podcast, which covers all of Hitch's films in chronological order. And right now we are doing the episodes of Alfred Hitchcock Presents that he directed. So, Justin, where can we find you, my calloused co-host?
Am I your calloused squire?
Sure, if you want to be.
Ooh. Okay, well, when I'm not thinking about that, maybe I'm not. Okay, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at TrekFan4747, where I tweet about nothing but Star Trek. And you can find me on Facebook in our group, the Federation Council Chambers, where if people listen to this episode and they have comments about sexuality, that's going to be a pretty interesting Facebook post. So lurk there, watch.
Yes. And you know what, people? If you want to talk about that, talk about it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not something to hide. We're adults. Don't be childish about it.
No pictures.
Yes.
Yes. We do still have something in our society that says don't post naked pictures of yourself in that group. So please don't do that. We have not evolved to the 24th century yet in that regard.
To Chrissy's detriment and sadness.
Well, I'm not saying that so that people can have naked pictures everywhere.
Okay, so...
sorry, but yes, you can find me there and we'll see what turns out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I always encourage people to talk about these things because I once inadvertently gave a sex ed class in history class because I was talking about Greek, how there was a group of women in Athens who were classified as prostitutes, but they were more entertainers, like geishas. But anyway, so I made a comment about something and it prompted this student to ask a question. And then it seemed as though none of them had had any sex ed at all. So I was just kind of like, all right, we're not doing history today. What do you need to know about life that your parents or no one ever taught you?
Did you have like a whiteboard that you started drawing diagrams and stuff?
No. Thankfully.
Okay.
Because it would be stick people diagrams because I can't draw.
She drew a picture and said, this is a fountain.
Yeah.
This
and
is
you
where the
should
pleasant
worship
fountain lies.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh God, this episode is great, but
it is.
All good things come to an end. Okay.
Well, when I'm not,
but I'm done. You need to keep going.
when I'm not advocating for women to understand their own bodies and appreciate sex in whatever form they enjoy it, I am also on History with the Szilagys here on the UFP network, and that is a podcast I do with my fellow historian partner Jason. And I'm happy to chat about all of our shows on the Federation Council Chambers on Facebook. And I'm on Twitter at the Goddess Livia, that's TheGoddessLivia, where I tweet about Star Trek, history, and leftist politics. Brandon, why don't you tell our listeners about the other shows on the network that probably don't talk about sex as much?
I was thinking about that. Those other ones probably don't talk about sex as much as in this episode.
Well, I can do that.
Well, it actually was a plot point in the episode. So
we're talking about it because the big deal was about this guy having sex. Like, it was a big deal, so that's why we're talking about it. Anyway.
Okay. I can tell you about these other episodes, but will it hurt?
Oh, that was wow.
Okay, so here on the network,
Hopefully not Billups. Hopefully not.
on these other shows on the network, we have All Good Things, which is hosted by Amy, Ken, and Patrick. They discuss all things Star Trek. We have Rhea, Kevin, Amy, and Joe covering TNG only on Galaxy Class. Chris, Patrick, and Casey, they cover everything under the Disney umbrella with Mickey's Marvels. Lance and Cavante have Always Hold On to the Arrow, covering everything in the Arrowverse. And last but not least, we have Zach and Ken discussing everything in the Bigfoot multimedia realm of stuff, of things on Sasquatch.
Thank you for listening to Infinite Diversity. Thank you to our executive producers, Ken Tripp, Tony Robinson, and Zach Moore, and Brandon Shemutala, whose name is not usually on there because he's here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music, and Tony Robinson for the awesome show art. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, and please subscribe in your favorite podcast app. And if there's an option to review us there, do it there too. If you'd like to reach out, and oh gods, you probably have a lot to say about this episode, you can find the network on Twitter at UFP Earth, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. And you can also talk about any and all of the UFP podcasts in our Facebook group called the Federation Council Chambers, or you can email us at infinitediversity@ufp.earth. I expect some emails about how we're terrible people.
We're good people.
Cut that out.
No,
Okay, no,
it'll be fine.
I was about to make a joke about I expect emails about how we're inappropriate, and I don't know why I said terrible people.
I expect Viagra spam emails.
Actually, you're probably right about that. On the next episode, we will be talking about the next episode of Lower Decks, which is titled I Excretus.
Are you sure it's not I Excretus?
Yeah, maybe.
What does that mean? Do you know? Sounds Latin.
Well, excrement is like poo, isn't it?
I was really hoping it wasn't just a reference to excrement, but everything I looked up, even in Latin, it's
God,
excrement.
really?
Yeah.
Got some
Chrissie's
poo jokes coming.
History of Poop Corner next week.
You know?
I don't want to know
History
nothing
of
about Chrissy's
sanitation?
poo corner.
No, nobody wants that.
We need the poo is okay, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the listeners know how much I would appreciate an I, Claudius reference, but I don't think I will on this one.
Oh, boy.
We'll see. Until
Pack less
then,
poop.
peace and long life.
Will it
And
hurt?
go enjoy those fountains.
Will it hurt?
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.
Oh, the
It's
one.
like the
You know
yellow
what?
horn.
Oh, that's right. It's in like a captain's chair or something. At first, I thought it was like a Klingon, but it doesn't really look like a Klingon, does it? Can you
Isn't
zoom into that, or is that
I
too
don't
much?
know how to do that.
No.
So I don't think I can.
I don't think you can in the media player.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
there you go.
This is pretty exciting stuff.
Control scroll forward.
Computer, zoom and enhance.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not there yet.
No, I wish. I just in volume.
Anywho,
Okay.
I'm
Well, we
trying to
don't
think.
know
Is
who
it is it like night terrors? Is that they come across the ship and there's all the? No, because night terrors is. The other...
yeah.
oh,
Anywho,
damn.
I'm not sure.
I'm having a moment because I saw it was like I saw it and I'm like I know what that is.
They're playing a long game, and it's an alien that'll be introduced in the season
There you
finale.
go.
How about that?
That works.
Ooh, there you
They
go.
desecrated their grave.
Revenge.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on and being on while we meandered off into weird areas with this episode. But
I love it. No, because that's Star Trek. It perpetuates conversations, and it's amazing to have ones that, you know, you don't necessarily just get to have on the street. You don't look at someone and go, tell me about the sexuality throughout history. Do you want to talk about this? Like, this is a good space to do that.
Definitely. I couldn't imagine
That's
like
true.
walking down the street and just stopping a stranger and being like, You want to talk about what pleasant fountains mean from Shakespeare?
Exactly.
That might get you arrested,
do,
actually.
And don't get arrested. Please tell us.
Chris is just walking down the street.
Although-
Let me tell you about cunnilingus.
Yeah. If you're in an academic setting, mentioning that could be some kind of a pickup line with the pleasant fountains, and if somebody knows what they're talking about, then
Oh, okay.
Want to go visit some
Yeah.
pleasant fountains or something. Yeah. I hang out with too many academics. Okay.
Or not enough.
Or not enough.
Ah.
Okay. We got some closing stuff to do. I don't know if you've got a hard out, and I'm sorry if we've passed it if you did. Since we were doing this early, Katie.
So you can stay while we do closing, or you can go if you need to go. So
Okay.
Cool. I was going to say, I think I might actually have to head out.
No
Mom
worries.
cooked dinner and
Oh,
home
run.
cooked meals. Not often I get those.
That's
so I
awesome.
think I'm going to scoot out.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Oh, I'm
No.
sorry if we kept you from that with my
No.
meal.
I just heard the oven open.
Ah.
So
no worries.
thank
Enjoy.
you guys so much.
Thank
this
you.
is so
Okay.
much
Thank you.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good-
Absolutely. Anytime.
Have a good
All
night.
Cool.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy vacation. I'm sorry, you guys. That went off the rails completely.
okay.
That's all right. So did the episode, in my opinion.
True. Okay.
But,
I mean, to some extent. All right. So, do the closing.